What happens when a nation facing a military giant turns to technology as its equalizer? Ukraine's answer: deploy enough drones to hit 77,000 Russian targets in a single month. While headlines focus on peace talks and ceasefires, Ukraine's military has quietly revolutionized its defensive capabilities through unmanned systems. This video reveals the strategic shift that is saving Ukrainian lives while dramatically slowing Russia's territorial gains across the front line. But before we dive in, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and turn on notifications to stay informed about our latest content. Since November 2024, a dramatic shift has taken place on the Ukrainian battlefield. Russian territorial advances have dropped from capturing 730 square kilometers in November 2024 to just 143 square kilometers in March 2025. This striking 80% decrease in territorial gains over 5 months raises important questions about what factors are reshaping the conflict's dynamics. The UK Ministry of Defence intelligence reports confirm this downward trajectory reflects a consistent pattern. Russian gains have steadily declined each month, from 393 square kilometers in December to 143 in March, with each intervening month showing progressive reduction. This persistent decline suggests fundamental changes in battlefield conditions rather than temporary setbacks. This trend holds particular significance because it contradicts Russia's apparent advantages. Moscow maintains numerical superiority and plans to expand its military by 150,000 additional troops in 2025. Yet despite these resources, Russian forces increasingly struggle to secure new territory, pointing to factors beyond raw numbers influencing combat effectiveness. These dramatic shifts in territorial gains are mirrored by innovative counter-strategies on the ground, especially in the strategic Pokrovsk direction, where Ukrainian forces have executed successful tactical counterattacks. Rather than attempting broad counteroffensives that might stretch resources too thin, military commanders have pivoted to precision operations, targeting specific Russian vulnerabilities. For example, Ukrainian forces identified a key Russian supply route near Pokrovsk and deployed precision artillery and drones to create a bottleneck, effectively halting an entire Russian battalion's momentum without committing large numbers of Ukrainian troops. Ukrainian tactical innovations have proven particularly effective against Russian offensive patterns. By studying Russian operational tendencies, Ukrainian forces have identified critical weaknesses in their adversary's approach. Russian logistics systems remain vulnerable. When supply lines and transfer points are disrupted, advances slow regardless of troop numbers. This adaptive approach leverages Ukrainian understanding of Russian deployment strategies. Ukrainian defenders observe that Russian forces typically operate in layers, with inexperienced infantry followed by more capable reconnaissance teams. This knowledge allows defenders to prepare targeted responses appropriate to each threat level. While Russia attempts to adjust its strategy, particularly near the Oskil River in Kharkiv Oblast, their effectiveness is being eroded by precise Ukrainian tactics. Near Borova, the Ukrainian operational and strategic group Kortitsia actively disrupts Russian attempts to concentrate forces for potential large-scale assaults. Ukraine's revolutionary approach to unmanned aerial systems represents the fundamental advantage altering the war's trajectory, despite Russia's numerical superiority. Rather than relying solely on conventional forces that would face devastating losses against Russia's larger military, Ukraine has transformed its defensive capabilities through sophisticated drone operations. This technological evolution enables Ukraine to target Russian assets with unprecedented precision, while significantly reducing Ukrainian casualties. By deploying various drone platforms for reconnaissance, targeting, and direct strikes, Ukrainian forces identify and exploit vulnerabilities in Russian positions without exposing troops to unnecessary risk, particularly valuable as Ukraine works to preserve its fighting force. The drone strategy creates asymmetric capabilities that counter Russia's conventional advantages. By targeting command posts, ammunition depots, and electronic warfare systems, Ukrainian forces degrade Russian combat effectiveness without matching them soldier for soldier on the battlefield. Behind Ukraine's strategic drone strikes lies a remarkable technological revolution happening in real time. Despite facing an adversary with vastly superior resources, Ukraine has managed to develop and continuously evolve its drone capabilities to strike 77,000 targets in March alone, a 10% increase from February's already impressive figures. This staggering achievement has fundamentally altered the battlefield dynamics in ways that traditional military analysts could scarcely have predicted. Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky's revelation of these numbers offers a glimpse into Ukraine's asymmetric response to Russia's conventional advantages. Ukraine has accomplished this escalation in drone operations while maintaining a relatively modest defense budget compared to its adversary. The drone strategy has become Ukraine's force multiplier, allowing precision strikes without matching Russia's troop numbers. Ukraine's drone arsenal features impressive diversity, from agile FPV drones to larger platforms designed for reconnaissance and strike operations. These systems operate in complementary roles. Smaller drones provide immediate tactical advantages on frontline positions, while larger platforms conduct deeper strikes against strategic assets. This layered approach ensures Ukraine can maintain pressure across multiple fronts simultaneously. The targeting strategy reflects careful calculation. Ukrainian forces prioritize high-value Russian assets that create cascading failures in enemy operations. Command posts disrupt leadership, ammunition depots prevent sustained artillery campaigns, fuel storage facilities immobilize mechanized units, and electronic warfare systems neutralize Russia's technological advantages. This strategic prioritization maximizes the impact of each strike, creating efficiencies that compensate for Ukraine's resource limitations. But what do these strikes look like in practice? On April 5, 2025, Ukrainian forces executed a precision strike against the fiber optic systems plant in Saransk, Republic of Mordovia. This facility is Russia's sole manufacturer of fiber optic cables and produces essential components for military control and communication systems, including those used in Russian drones. As smoke rose from the facility, local residents reported hearing multiple explosions that shattered windows in nearby buildings. Geo-located footage verified the explosion and subsequent fire, despite Russia's claims to have shot down 3 drones over Mordovia overnight. Simultaneously, Ukrainian forces struck the Promzintez enterprise in Chapayevsk, Samara Oblast. The attack triggered at least 20 explosions at this key manufacturer of industrial explosives used in ammunition production. The resulting operational shutdown created bottlenecks throughout Russia's supply chain, limiting their ability to sustain intensive artillery operations. Russia has responded by adapting their supply chains. Ukrainian intelligence recently identified an Indian-made component within a Russian weapon system, a clock buffer from Aura Semiconductor, revealing Russia's efforts to circumvent international sanctions. More concerning is Russia's systematic reduction of dependence on Western technology. Their newer drone designs now contain fewer American chips, demonstrating determination to immunize their military-industrial complex against sanctions. The technological battle between Ukrainian innovation and Russian adaptation has created a rapidly evolving arms race. Each side continually adjusts tactics and technologies to counter the other's advantages. For Ukraine, the challenge remains maintaining its drone production capacity and technological edge, despite Russia's considerable resources and growing focus on targeting Ukraine's own manufacturing facilities. As our analysis reveals, the future of Ukraine's security lies within its own military capabilities. NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte recently emphasized that the Ukrainian military should serve as the first line of defense in deterrence against potential Russian aggression. This aligns with statements from the French General Staff identifying Ukraine's own military as its primary security guarantee. European and NATO officials are exploring mechanisms for long-term security guarantees following peace agreements. This approach empowers Ukraine's defensive capabilities through technological adaptation, particularly the drone innovations we discussed earlier, rather than external intervention. This model of technological self-reliance reshapes security frameworks across Eastern Europe and demonstrates how evolving battlefield innovations directly influence geopolitical realities. What do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.